Time for the Minimoto race here at Teesside, and it's going to be a straight fight between Austin Dilks and Daisy Grayson. There was less than 0.2 of a second between them in time qualifying. They share the front row of the starting grid. Joey Billam is going to be third on the grid for this one, ahead of Logan Paisley and Harry Evans. So let's see how the Minimoto race is going to get underway. There may not be many of them, but the battle between Austin Dilks and Daisy Grayson is definitely going to be one to watch. There's nothing between them. The green flag is there at the back of the grid. So the riders are ready to start. Oh, and Evans moves forward, and so too does Daisy Grayson. Oh, that's drama before the race even begins, as Daisy Grayson moved just a little bit further forward at the start there. Harry Evans definitely did. And they're on the shorter configuration of the circuit here, of course, because this is the Minimoto class, so they don't use the full 2.3 kilometre course. They use a shortened variation of it that basically takes them from out of the dogleg around the hairpin, midway round the Bob Pope straight, and then into the Wiggles. But Daisy Grayson, that little bit of a jump forward at the start, I think that's going to come back to bite her for a 5 seconds jump start. And it would not surprise me at all if the same penalty befell Harry Evans. But for the moment, it is Dilks in front of Grayson. Their rivalry from yesterday is renewed. Austin Dilks, of course, took the victory in race 1 yesterday, but Daisy Grayson's qualifying definitely tells us that these two are going to be at each other's throats for the entire race weekend. So Dilks and Grayson, 1 and 2. Now, Daisy Grayson has got the potential penalty hanging over her head there, but if she gets a 5 second penalty, essentially what she needs to do then is she needs to get ahead of Austin Dilks and pull away to the tune of at least 5.1 seconds, and then the victory will be hers. But that is easier said than done. They go through hairpin 1 and into hairpin 2. Onto the run down the back straight, and then of course they will work their way to South Bank. But Dilks is being very calm about this. Just keeping it nice and tidy out front. Doesn't need to overexert himself. Just keep the position over Daisy Grayson. Third place, by the way, is Logan Paisley, having a very solid race in front of Joey Billam and Harry Evans. So the race is still going to continue on for the riders behind. Now we've got to take into account as well that in Minimoto, you've got very young riders indeed at the very beginning of their racing career. So they are learning on the job. Now Wilson Dilks gets the fastest lap of 56.618. That's actually very comparable to the pace he set in qualifying. So you can see that there's not a lot of disparity between qualifying times and race times. Look at the battle for third as Logan Paisley and Joey Billam are absolutely on each other as they go through the Wiggles up towards hairpin 1. Currently it's Paisley that has the form. But you can see that Joey Billam really wants to get the move out of hairpin 1. He's thinking about it. He can't quite get close enough into the braking zone in hairpin 2 to slice it up the inside line. They're still fairly even. Back to the leaders. Austin Dilks ahead of Daisy Grayson. Isn't it amazing? You wait ages for a very talented female to come through from the world of Minimoto, and now we've got two, because we've got NELLIE, who's not here this weekend, of course, and Daisy Grayson, who has suddenly emerged as a top-level contender for the future in her performances in Minimoto. Through the dog leg, and then they will turn sharp right here rather than go on to the left-hander. Still the battle for third between these two men raging, Logan Paisley and Joey Billam, giving us a really good race as they go through the hairpin loop. And it's up the inside for Joey Billam. Oh, beautiful run on Logan Paisley. Nothing that Paisley could have done about that one. Joey Billam just had the confidence on the inside line, up through to the Wiggles. And after a very strong defence, there's not a lot really that Logan Paisley can do in response as Joey Billam works his magic further forward. So still the battle rages. It's Dilks ahead of Grayson, but now Joey Billam has got ahead of Logan Paisley. So a very solid race is set to continue here from this point forward. And the two leaders, Dilks and Grayson, have got well clear of Joey Billam, now in third position ahead of Logan Paisley. That's the distance as they go through the dog leg and through to the hairpin. We can see that Joey Billam was only through hairpin 2 at that point. So there is the battle for third, although it's not so much a battle anymore. Now that Joey Billam's got ahead of Logan Paisley, Paisley's lap times are dissipating somewhat. Joey Billam's just done a 57.132, and I'm afraid to say that Logan Paisley's pace is still down in the 58s. So it's not quite enough of an opportunity for Logan Paisley. Daisy Grayson, second position. And I can tell you that there will be a 5 second penalty added to the time of both Daisy Grayson and Harry Everts. They were judged to have jumped the start, which is very unfortunate for them. So this is much easier for Austin Dilks. Very little pressure on him now. So it could be very easy pickings for Austin Dilks. He just needs to keep that 1.5 seconds or so that he's currently got over Daisy Grayson to the line. He doesn't have to push too hard. Just ride the bike around the course, essentially. As long as he doesn't drop it, or as long as he doesn't make too many mistakes, then this race is very much Austin Dilks to lose. Bilham goes through, still third position. Logan Paisley still P4. But look at Austin Dilks. He's in his element now. He's just got to keep the faith in this bike. And he's looking so calm and composed about it. So the battle for third position still running strong as they come up to lap Harry Everts. Well, that's Austin Dilks lapping Harry Everts now. And this is what we've been talking about over the season. You don't have it very easy in this championship because there are no club races, there are no regional district races on particular circuits. You've only got the British Championship. So the only way to get good at this sport is to test, practice, and then of course race under the gaze and the scrutiny of the spectators watching at home on our television program. And it's not easy to get that done. There's a lot of pressure that comes with it, especially if you are at the beginning of your career when you're several seconds off the pace. You're trying to learn how to gauge the pace. But we've seen this so many times. The hard school of learning is what gets you up to the front. Austin Dilks went through it, Daisy Grayson went through it, and it's Harry Everts who's going through it at the moment. So through the hairpin, good pressure from Daisy Grayson, but she just can't quite get close enough to Austin Dilks. Towards the last lap we go, and sadly the challenge has abated from Logan Paisley, who's had to pull off the racetrack with a mechanical problem. So it's now Harry Everts who's come through to fourth position, but he's going to get lapped for the second time here by Austin Dilks, who comes through to cross the line. And it's been an absolute masterclass race from Austin Dilks. He will take the checkered flag. He's opened up the gap to Daisy Grayson, and he takes the checkered flag. Austin Dilks makes it 2 wins out of 2 so far. There's one more to come tomorrow, don't forget. But Austin Dilks takes the win. Daisy Grayson maintains second place despite the 5-second penalty. She wouldn't have lost it anyway. Joey Bilham in third, Harry Everts in fourth, and Logan Paisley sadly having to retire from the race. But there is a third and final race of Minimoto this weekend, which we'll see later on to see if Paisley can get himself back to the front.